following podcast contains real stories and raw conversations from first responders and military personnel. Some topics may be graphic or triggering. The views expressed by the host and the guests are their own and do not represent any agency or organization. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Beyond the Dispatch. We have a great guest in today. You guys are going to be really excited for this one. But before we get to that, please like, subscribe, share. Please leave a comment of what you guys like about the episode or what you guys want to see in the future. We can't do it without you guys. But without further ado, we have Kurt DeGroot in the studio. He's the president and CEO of Project Firefighters, a career firefighter and paramedic based in Illinois' Southside suburbs. He launched the initiative in 2016 after a deeply moving experience transporting a child battling cancer, inspiring him to ask, how can we do more? Kurt, brother.
It's an honor, man.
No, the honor's all ours. I'm a huge fan of Project Fire Buddies. My family is also a huge fan of Project Fire Buddies, as you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. That's what we're all about. That's what Carrie and I are all about. Like when I was in the police department, our FOP, I was a vice president of the FOP for our. So it was definitely my bread and butter. Like I love getting out there with those kids. Tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Yeah. So Project Fire Buddies, I started it in 2016. At that time, it wasn't called Project Fire Buddies. It was we kept going on calls for kids that were, critically ill, battling cancer, things like that. And in particular, this one young man, he would brighten up. They call for high fever or whatnot, and he would come in and he would when we'd show up, he'd brighten up, he'd get all excited, And the kid felt like crap, And it's like this kid is in the fight for his life, and us just coming over there is making an impact on him. I'm like, I think there's something there, and so I wanted to do more. So we would treat and do everything we had to do, and then I went back to the firehouse. I talked to a lot of the senior firefighters, and I'm like, hey, what can we do? And I kept getting the answer is there's nothing else we can do. Like we did everything we were supposed to do, and I'm like, there's got to be something, So finally, I did the big no, and I broke chain of command and went to the fire chief and said, hey, I want to do something. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea what it's going to look like or what I'm going to call it, but I want to do more for these kids, And he's like, yeah, just keep me in the loop. So we were there again, kind of met with mom, and said, hey, I gave her my number, and like, hey, maybe next time I'm on shift, if he's feeling good, we can come over and hang out with him and his brothers. She's like, oh, that would be awesome. We'd love that. In my mentality and several of our mentalities is these kids look at us like we're the hero, but let's be honest, we're a skilled trade.
Yeah.
It's these kids are the hero. They're in the fight for their life, and what better people to support than these kids, right? So it was very grassroots, just going over there, playing air hockey, getting embarrassed at air hockey, playing video games, which I'm not great at. So,
right.
But they loved it, like the firefighters are their friends. They're coming over, we're playing these games, and they're just, and they're destroying us and feeling good about themselves. So it was awesome. So that was kind of the start. In the very beginning, a lot of things had to happen, right? Because for one, it's the fire service. And for people who aren't familiar with the fire service, this is the way we always do things. Well, why? Because it is, and if you're throwing change into anything, especially in paramilitary type environment, change is never welcomed. It's very difficult. So I'd have a group of firefighters that were like, oh, this is a good idea, and then I have a group of, why are we doing this? What's going on? This isn't on the schedule. This isn't supposed to happen. They're very regimented. So it was changing the culture a little bit. And so it was great. So as we did this, word started spread on social media. Other kids would call the fire department and say, families would call the fire department. And they'd be like, hey, my kid's battling so-and-so cancer. And is there any way the fire department could stop out? And we're like, oh, yeah, and then we started growing the list. So during that time, we met a young man. He was a high school soccer player. He was 17, so firefighters aren't cool to a 17-year-old.
Right.
And he had bone cancer. Oh. And this kid was a soccer star, and so his world is, I'm going to play soccer. I'm going to go to college and play soccer. This is my world. And then he gets diagnosed with this bone cancer, and they have to amputate his leg.
Oh, God.
So that was the first like speed bump. Like, okay, what do we do? Like, we're not cool. I can't play video games with this kid because he's going to be like, what do you hear, nerd? Beat it.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, but we want to make an impact. So I'm always very high octane, like just, we're going to go through a brick wall and we'll figure something out. Right.
Right.
And so I reached out to the Chicago Fire soccer team, cold called, didn't know anybody, called them, said, hey, this is a program we got in town. This is the story. And we want to do something for this kid. And they're like, okay, what do you want us to do? And I'm like, well, I want you to send his family to the game, and I want him to go on the field. I want him to meet every player, and I want him to be a VIP. And the lady laughed. She laughed at me at first. And I'm like, and she's like, I don't know if that's possible. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Who do I talk to that'll make that possible? And she's like, well, let me forward this on, and we'll give you a call back. So somebody else called me back a few days later. And they're like, okay, so what's going on? Tell me the story. And so I just told the story. Like, you hear the story, the situation this kid's in, like, and if you put yourself in that mentality, like his world just got a whole 180, and it's not his fault, you know? So it's like, and I'm telling the story, and God bless, you know, them over at the Chicago Fire, because they're like, yeah, I feel that. What we're going to do is we're going to send his entire family to a playoff game. We're going to put him on the field. He's going to meet all the players. And our goalie is actually a childhood cancer survivor. So we're gonna hook them up too. And that's what they did, man. They went there, and it was a great moment. It was awesome. You know, I was so excited, you know, and I'm like, right. Yeah, we got to win, you know. And I remember telling my wife, and my wife's like, oh, that's awesome, babe. She's like, why don't you do that for everybody? And I'm like, all right, you're the brains, not me.
Right.
But that's okay. So then it morphed into more, right?
Yeah.
It morphed into gifts. It morphed into things. And when you're not a 501c3, as police, fire, I can't take cash donations from people,
right,
and put it in my bank account. I'll be fired the next day. Plus, the optics are poor. So all of Fire Buddies for the first a few years, was funded from our savings account.
Yeah.
So, but it was the right thing to do. And at the time, my kids were younger. I had 3 kids, and they were a part of it. My wife was a part of it. It was a family thing. The crews at the firehouse were a part of it. And so when this is happening, like Christmas time, you know, we'd have all these kids, and we want to bring gifts for them. And my kids, we would explain to them saying, hey, for Christmas, you're going to get 1 gift. That's it. Pick 1 gift. And at first they're like, well, why only 1? You know, like that stuff. And I'm like, the other gifts are going to these kids. And my kids were like, okay. Like, what good humans?
Yeah.
I picture me at that age. I'd be like, Ma, Dad, what's going on? You know, like, no, I wanted this, this, and this, you know, but my kids, I mean, great humans. And it must be because my wife raised them.
No, brother, it's both of you guys. That's what it is. You're a selfless person. You're taking money from your savings account, and you're paying for children that need it, right? You're giving them things that they need to help ease some of their pain. That's 100% you. That's where they learned it from, brother.
Well, it's a team effort.
100%. You and your wife. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yes, you and your wife.
Yeah, and so it was cool watching that, and I didn't realize the effect that it created some incredible humans in my children. Like, all 3 of them are just very smart, successful people, and they're just good. And I'm like, I have to think that played part of the impact, right? Like a little bit of that.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing. But so all of these things are happening, and things are going great. And the other thing is, I remember my wife and I'm like, hey, you know, it's Noah's birthday. We're going to run to the store. We're going to grab him some stuff, you know? And she's like, okay. And I come and I'm like, I'm just going to run in and grab some things. And she's like, all right. And I came back out. She goes, okay. And she's like, what'd you get? And I showed her, you know, and she's like, what'd you get for her sister? And I go, well, she's not sick. It's not her birthday. And she goes, do you understand what it's like in her world?
Yeah.
You know, this particular child was diagnosed with a terminal illness. Right. So I went right back in the store, you know, and I'm like, and from that point on, Project Fire Buddies always get gifts for the siblings.
I love it.
You know, so it's like, that's how grassroots it was. It was, I was so tunnel vision on the child, and you surround yourself with good people and things happen, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, you don't have too much pride where you think you know all the answers, because I don't.
Same.
Not a clue, you know, but when people make these positive suggestions, you change things. So it was able, you know, and I'm blessed to have her and my kids in my life to do this, you know. And so we did that, and we moved forward from that point. And now if we fast forward into Christmas, it was Thanksgiving, I was on shift. It's 2019. I still remember it. And I was on the bay floor at the firehouse. It was late at night, and I write everything down, right? And I'm looking at it, and I see the gift order. So we didn't just get gifts, to fill gifts.
Right.
We got what they wanted. And we have all these kids and all these gifts, and there's no more money in my savings, right? Like,
Yeah, man.
we're gone. So I'm like, and I've already used other firefighters where I'm like, hey, how about you buy this? And they were great. They did. You know, Ryan, our VP, he was another one that we were just hammering his savings account too. You know, like, hey, we need to get this, we need to get that, you know. But we got to a point where I'm like, I don't know how this is going to happen. So I'm sitting on the bay floor at the firehouse, and if anybody saw me, I would have been called in for a psych eval, because I'm screaming at God to the ceiling of the bay floor saying, I thought you wanted this. I thought this was I'm supposed to be doing this. I have no way of doing this. I can't fill these gift orders. I have no idea how this is going to work. So like, just that moment where you hit the very rock bottom where I don't know what I'm going to do. I had a plan and I don't have a plan, and I'm going to you. And no answer. Finish shift. Saturday, we celebrate Thanksgiving at my brother's house out in Mount Greenwood. So we're over there hanging out, and I get a text on my phone that says, hey, call me. It was from a number I didn't know. And normally you'd ignore that.
Absolutely.
But for whatever reason, I had a gut feeling about that. And I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, I need to make this call. So I called it, and it's loud in the background. You know, Mount Greenwood houses, smaller houses, a lot of people in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't really hear what the guy was saying, but it sounded like, you know, he's like, hey, you know, my son's playing on Sunday, and, you know, and we're going to get some gifts and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I couldn't tell if he wanted to buy like a $20 gift or a $50 gift, like to help offset some of it, you know? And I'm like, oh, and I'm trying to give him this. I'm like, it's really what's in your budget, sir. You know, I don't know who he is. I didn't catch his name. It turns out he's the fire chief of Orland. And his son is in the NFL, and he was a Super Bowl 50 champ, and he was playing for the Chargers at the time. And then it started clicking in my head who he was, and I'm calling this guy bro, dude, and it's a fire chief, right? You know, and I'm like, oh, chief, I'm sorry, you know, I'm like, I didn't catch your name at first, and he's like, no, he goes, but my son, he plays in the NFL. My daughter-in-law, who's Kendall Coyne Schofield, who's Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
Women's USA hockey. They're like, they're going to call you next week. And so I'm like, okay. They called, and they're like, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, told them what the whole story was. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to buy all the gifts, and we're going to drop them off at the firehouse. And they had their own foundation, you know? And I'm like, okay, this is amazing, right? So the prayer, the solution, it's there. It dropped off at the firehouse. Everything's good. I'm talking to Kendall, and she's like, so she was asking why I started it, and why this and why that, and going through all those details. And she's like, what problems have you seen? You know? And I'm like, well, funding. And she's like, well, aren't you doing fundraisers, stuff like that? I'm like, I can't. I'm like, we don't have a 501c3. And now I tried doing the 501c3 on my own, and
hassle.
Yeah, in the state of Illinois, it doesn't make it easy for you.
No.
And they, you know, you mailed in 6 weeks later, they're like, oh, you missed this. And there was a lot of that. And I found a company that said that they would do it for me, but it was $5K.
Of course.
And I couldn't buy gifts. I can't. $5K is a lot of gifts. So Kendall's like, no, well, my dad's a state's attorney. He set up ours. I'll have him call you. He could set up yours. And I'm like, that's amazing. Sure enough, her dad, outstanding guy, John Coyne, awesome dude. He calls me and he's like, yeah, Kurt, nicest guy in the world. And he's like, yeah, and I'll get it all set up and I'll do this, I'll do that. And then all the fees, Kendall called, she goes, hey, I took care of all the fees for you too, so you don't have to worry about it. So that was like the moment of, okay, this needs to keep going. Like, really, you put a prayer in, you were beat down, and then these things started happening. And it's like, okay, so I know I'm rambling.
No, man, you're not. I literally, the whole time you're talking, I was getting chills.
Oh, good.
The whole time, I was captivated. You are definitely a selfless person, and I want to backpedal a little bit and talk about something we kind of touched on off camera for everyone to kind of know who Kurt really is. Kurt is truly a selfless person. You talked about being in the pipe. You were a sprinkler fitter, right?
Sprinkler fitter, yeah.
This man turned down a career with a project as a project manager to continue Project Fire Buddies. Talk about that. Tell me about that, or tell the guests about that, because I think that's a very crucial part of who you are and what decisions you made, because there's so many people out in this world who are just obsessed with material things in life. That's not who you are.
Well, I guess I'm guilty like anybody, right? I want nice things, but when push comes to shove, here's the thing is that little backstory is my wife and I, high school sweethearts, we went to prom together. She's my best friend. So like just awesome human. And so when we started out, we were overachievers and we had kids very young. So like teenagers, we had children, right? They had the first kid. Why not? But we were just getting ahead of the curve. So
love it.
Yeah. So with that, that's how we started out. So we never had anything. Like we have been fighting since day one. My wife working 7 days a week, waitressing this job, waitressing that job, selling cell phones, doing this. I'm doing that. I'm working at a crane place, doing that. We just, both of us are hustlers. We hustle, we work hard because it was to provide for our family. It wasn't the easiest setup, right? So as we start building up and we start doing things and things start happening, fire service, sprinkler fitters. So in the sprinkler fitters, great career, great union. I'm project manager, doing a lot of jobs, high rises, all these things. Great thing, great money.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a call for me. I was always a part-time fireman while I was a sprinkler fitter. And the reason I became a fireman is kind of crazy, but I'll tell you real quick. My daughter, actually, when she was a baby, she had a seizure. And so she was born in 2001. So it was that long ago.
Oh, God, I feel old now.
Yeah, right. So she had a seizure when she was a baby, and I didn't know what to do.
Right.
So I did what was on the TV screen. Right when I watched a movie and somebody had a seizure, I rolled her on her side. My wife dialed 911. Firefighter, paramedics came in. Dude, they just knew everything to do.
Super calm,
confident, made everything better. And I remember sitting in the ER, and once we found out everything was good with her, and she never had a seizure ever again, by the way. So as I'm sitting there, I'm like, I want to do that. Yeah. I don't want to feel helpless like this ever again. I need to do that. And so that's how I got into the fire service. So it was just part-time. Then the sprinkler fitters called, doing that. Everything was great. And then I just kept having a pull to get into the fire service. And, my town was testing, so I took the test. And now this is at a time, unlike right now, where 100 people sat in a room and it was for maybe one position.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if it's meant to be, it'll happen, right? And took the test, continued as a fitter, and then I got the call. And they're like, do you want the job? And I'm like, ooh, I do want the job. So I took the job. My start date was on my daughter's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Like the reason I got in the fire service was because of her and the situation. And then out of 365, right, it lands on the day of her birth, right? And I'm like, all right, so you just like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Divine intervention, brother.
Right, 100%, so it's like, okay, I need to, so get in the fire service, but in the fire service, you're on 24, off 48.
Yeah.
On my 48 off, I'm running, still doing all the sprinkler fitter stuff, and it's great income, right? And it's good, it's helping the family, it's doing well. Then the idea of Project Fire Buddy comes in somewhere in there and start doing that. So I remember being on job sites, I'm wrenching on pipe, I got a Bluetooth headset in, I'm trying to talk to families, getting gift orders, seeing how the kids are doing, talking to potential donors. And I mean, you got job site sounds. People are coring through walls, drilling, and I'm like, sorry, it's got some construction in the background, trying to act professional, but it's unattainable.
Yeah.
But also in the meantime, I was becoming a zombie, right? You're running 3 different things, not including family and friends. I mean, not including family and kids, and doing all that. And it got to a point where Fire Buddies started to gain a lot of traction and wanted to really make that happen. And I had to make a decision. So my decision was I need to step away from, I'm going to step away from the fitters. I still hold my card, but I need to concentrate on charity. When that decision was made, it reverberates to the rest of your board, your staff, the people that help out, the volunteers, everybody, the team members. We don't. Everybody's volunteer, but it's like we call them team members,
right,
staff, things like that. And when that happened, we experienced our biggest growth in the organization. We went from in 2022 to 2023, we grew 550% across every facet of the organization. And I'm like, okay, we need to keep doing this.
You made the right move, man. You literally took financial security, and you pushed it aside for the greater good for children that need it the most. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is, and it's good because my kids were on board with it. My wife was on board with it. Like, it was a family decision. It was, we need to have a powwow. There's a coming of Christ moment occurring.
Yeah.
And every one of them are, what needs to happen,
I'll say it. Everyone's probably thinking that you're an angel from heaven, brother.
No,
you're too humble.
No.
I'll say it for you. Not a lot of people in this world. I mean, not a lot of people that I know would turn down a job like that, or kind of step away from a job like that, where you could be making a lot of money.
Yeah, it's
and
good
that
money.
pays for a lot of things and a lot of comforts, and you choose to become a firefighter. You choose to continue with Project Firefighters, and look where it's going. And look, I mean, you guys are just scratching the surface. You guys what, in 10 states now?
We're about to announce our 12th. So we're 146 other departments right now. So it's beautiful. I'm biased, but yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I remember the first chapter we brought on was Oak Lawn. And it was after we had to become a 501c3 to do this, because we couldn't fund ourselves. We're not going to be able to help fund the next venture, right?
Right.
In Oak Lawn, Jeff Gorowski, he's high octane too, just great, positive dude. And he's called up and he's like, I forgot what, he held some union position at the Oak Lawn Fire Department on their board, something. But he's like, how do we do what you guys are doing? How do we get this here? And I'm like, just when you hear somebody and you hear their passion, if they're on set and like, okay, this guy can do what it takes.
Right.
And then our next department was Kevin from Payless, listening to him, talking to him on the phone. I'm like, okay, he's got the mindset too.
Yep.
So these guys are the guinea pigs, right? Of how it's going to work. And you got to have a solid person, you got to have somebody that follows through, which is not common this day and age in any industry.
No,
I think people get distracted by the next shiny thing all the time. And, so as we build out our team, we tend to keep surround ourselves with people that actually can close the gap at the end of the day,
You have to.
Yeah.
Because you guys won't be as successful without that.
For sure.
For
sure. And you need to find the right mindset. So the one big thing, it's something I told my kids their entire time growing up is, so if you hang out with 6 successful people, you're going to be the 7th. You hang out with 6 millionaires, you'll be the 7th. Yep. You hang out with 6 losers, you're going to be the 7th. If you surround yourself around solid people, you're going to grow. And all my kids did sports in their own respective ways, travel sports, and my youngest is still doing it. And they're playing college level and doing good. They're very successful at it. And we've always explained to them, I'm like, you don't want to be the best on your team. If you're the best on your team, you're never going to hit the next mark.
You need to find a new team.
Yeah. And my little guy, Christian, he Like Curtis is my oldest. Curtis was a all-state wrestler, like just feisty. Yeah, he's awesome, you know. And then Kara was volleyball, basketball, and then Christian was just baseball all day. And he was little. He was 8 years old, and he was in the like local travel team for his town.
Yeah.
And he's playing with all his buddies, and he's at the top of his team, you know. And he came up to us, and he goes, "Hey, I want to try out for this team," that he found on like his tablet, and it was an elite team. And I'm like, "You're not going to play with your friends? Like, you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And sure enough, we went to a tryout. There was like 50 kids out there for 2 spots. Kid makes it, you know, and now he's college baseball player and just slaying dragons out there. And I'm like,
I love it.
So you see it, you know, you just keep that mindset. You surround yourself with better, you'll become better yourself.
Yeah, your mindset's massive. It really is. And you talked about positivity, surrounding yourself with successful people, positive people. There's truly something to be said about it. I mean, I'm sure in the fire service, as well as the police service, there's toxic people, right? Like I've had a zone partner come up to me and super toxic, and then it just like leached into me.
100%.
And then I've become toxic, and that's not who I am.
And it's hard not to be toxic in the first responder world.
Oh, for sure.
Like you get beat down, like across the board, police and fire. I watch it on a daily basis. And it's funny when you watch social media, people think they can put their comments and say, "Oh, well, the cop did this, the firefighter did this." And it's easy when you're sitting drinking your coffee on your couch. But when this shit's hitting the wall, like you got to make a decision. It's tough to be out there and to get it day in and day out and day in and day out. And the one thing that, again, I wasn't smart enough to think of, but with Project Fire Buddies is we watch when these guys and girls go out and visit these kids, it refills their cup.
It does.
They start figuring out like, hey, this is why I got into this job. You know, think about it. Police, fire, teachers, they're all helpers. Nurses, all helpers. And if you're constantly doing something that you thought the job was, and then you get there and you're like, "Oh, wow, this isn't what I thought." But you still are a helper. You're trying to help. You're trying to do good.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're not able to do good. But now here's a way to give back to the community and do it right at the core value of it. And you're helping the most vulnerable in your community. I mean, it's a win. You know, I had this guy in my department, saltiest dude ever, like just crabby, miserable, couldn't say good morning to him, like just he was just miserable at everything. And I'm like, man, that guy just got beat down, right?
Yep.
And he went on a firefighter delivery at the early on, and he came up to me, and he's full of tears. And he goes, "I've been turning those lights and sirens on my entire career, and I'm greeted with screams, terror, death. This is the first time I turned them on, and I was greeted with smiles." And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. I never thought that's just a side effect of it, you know?
It is. And it's probably one of the best parts about it. And honestly, from my experience doing that as well, it was my favorite part.
Yeah.
You know, working those cases, helping people, true victims, that was also great as well. But then there's also the negative that comes with it, and
for sure,
the secondary hand trauma that you get from it of working sex cases, murders, homicides, like all those things. But then when you actually get to take a kid shopping for Christmas, and they're all smiles and they're like, "Can I get this?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, you can get that. You can get this, whatever you want. You want to buy something for your mom? You want to buy something for your dad?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." And they start running down the aisles of the store. You're like, "This is what it's all about. This is what life's about. This is what this career's about." And that's what I love most about it.
Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. You always see those videos on social media. Now, granted, social media is a tangled web.
Oh yeah.
So like I always call it the Jerry Springer effect. Like, Jerry Springer was only popular because people are gravitated to drama, right?
Oh, yeah.
100%. That's why negativity on social media just thrives.
Oh, yeah.
And it happens. Why? Because it gives you a dopamine release in the brain. It makes you think, you know, and makes you feel good for a second because it's not your drama and all this other stuff. But if you look at, you know, you see the police officer that stops and shoots some hoops with some kids, tosses a football, and then you see firefighters there going over to the houses and playing video games, board games with kids, and that's social media. You know, when our social media is 100% organic, and when we did this and started watching how things were going, You could see that everybody wants to do good, even if they're not in their respective career able to. They can within our organization and help some way, right? And when people just need a bridge, and how to do good and how to have a positive outlook on it. So, like our social media, so proud of it, is we average 800,000 to 1.4 million views a month. Like,
oh, wow.
100% organic. And when we see that, and it's like, okay, like that's what the world wants, more of it.
Yes.
They want positive things.
There's too much negative out there. And we talked about toxic before. The internet can be it's like a cancer in a certain way. There's some really good stuff out there, and then there's some really bad stuff. And people get caught up in the bad stuff too often, and they get like clips or snippets of information, and they take it as gospel, and then they let it like manipulate their lives, and then next thing you know, they're addicted instead of like, clean the house or on their phone scrolling, and it's a doom scroll. It really is.
Yeah,
it sucks
I call it zombie scrolling. It just whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
and then afterwards, your energy is zapped from you. You're gone. Like me personally, and my wife, same thing. We got off social media entirely. Like,
you have to.
The organization's on there, but we disconnected from it because it was just like, there was other reason behind it, but it was just there was just too many things and too much attainable that we had to keep up with, and we couldn't keep up with the social media persona and run the nonprofit, right? So we had to dedicate time to doing just that, the nonprofit, right? Where our efforts should be.
You're taking away from the things that actually matter. The social media is great because it brings awareness. It shows everyone what you guys are doing in your mission, and it needs to happen. People need to see that. But then it also sucks the life out of you, and then now you can't perform the duties that actually matter, and it's giving back to those kids.
Yeah, 100%. I always, when I was trying to understand, and listen, this is probably all BS, and I have no idea of what I'm talking about. But like when you go to a movie theater and you watch a movie, you enjoy the movie, you watch the movie, but very seldom do you walk out of the movie theater with energy.
Oh, you're right.
So that's why people watch movies at night. Like they go to the late show. Like you just don't have that. So then I look at it and I'm like, okay, you're watching 30-second movies. You're getting the beginning, the climax, the end in 30 seconds. And you're seeing 400 of them, and you're going through that over and over again. There's no way. You're on dopamine overload.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even move. So I'm like, okay, I think so whatever. The science makes sense in my head, so whatever.
No, 100%. And then that's why people are so, I feel like a lot of contributing to depression nowadays, right?
100%.
Because you're getting the dopamine. And then next thing you know, your phone's always in your pocket. You're like, you're driving, and then people are driving down the road, driving a vehicle, and they're like, what's on social real quick? And you're like, wait, what am I doing?
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I mean, the technology is like a blessing and a curse. You have a mini like supercomputer in your pocket at all times.
You do. Yeah. And it is. It's like anything that's good, there's always a negative to something, right?
Yep.
And it's even our organization, there's a negative. There's a negative because we can't help every kid in every community.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so we're doing, when you figure out how to do it, we got to draw lines in the sand somewhere. And ours is critically ill, because there's a lot of kids that are chronically ill that deserve a lot, but there's just not a budget for it.
No.
And so that's my little plug. If Walmart or Amazon wants to sponsor,
hint.
Like, yeah, right.
All right, brother, we're going to take a quick break. Here at Beyond the Dispatch, there's only one first aid bag we trust for ourselves, our loved ones, and anyone we roll up on. Wait, did you bring with?
Jumpmatic.
God, I hope you guys heard that, because it's a hefty bag. It literally has everything you want, need, and more. It actually even has a kitchen sink installed. It has anything from glucose readers, sterilized bandages, thermometer, ring cutter, Israeli bandages, tourniquets.
Look, here's the thing. This bag, if you're active, hunting, camping, hiking, even for a truck, you roll up on an accident, this thing can treat anything from a bug bite, a poisonous plant, to a bullet wound. It's phenomenal. It was designed by a paramedic for everybody to use. I love this thing. I carry one in my truck. I'm going to add one in my camping bag. It's great. Like I said, it carries everything. You got tourniquets. It's one of the only ones on the market that brings full diagnostics to you.
What? You sound like you're talking like you're a professional.
Might have done it a time or two.
2-3 times?
2 or 3.
That thing looks durable. Like, I mean, what is it made out of?
So it's 900D Oxford fabric. So it's thick, it's durable. This is one of their newest ones. It came out earlier this year. It's wonderful. Like I love this thing.
So you're telling me this could withstand the bomb zone of my wife's car?
100%. 100%.
If you want to protect your loved ones, you want to protect yourself, camping trips, anywhere from camping trips to, I mean, literally on the road, you see a car accident. It's going to withstand anything you put at it, throw at it, and it's going to provide the first aid that you need at the time of your greatest need.
Yeah.
You will not be disappointed. I thought we had a code.
We do. So if you visit their website, jumpmedic.com, you're going to find that they have this bag along with many other options. You could even build your own. And if you use our code BTD10, you'll get 10% discount.
Promise you won't be disappointed. Provide the care and attention that your loved ones need for yourself, along with people you don't know who are in the time of need.
Completely. And don't forget, use the code BTD10. Save some money.
All right, so we're back from break. Kurt, we ended with, hopefully shout out to Walmart, hit up Project Fire Buddies. They're a good cause. You won't be disappointed. But what sets you guys apart from other foundations or not-for-profits that are out there kind of doing the same thing that you guys are doing?
Yeah, so if you look in which, again, something I never realized until I dove into and read so many different books, articles about nonprofits. There's a lot to learn with them.
Right.
But if you look at nonprofits, there's a group that are like really solid nonprofits, right? And then there's a group that's probably lesser solid. And they all talk about, it's all about percentages, right? So you guys understand this, like the IRS, when you have a nonprofit, they want to see that 60% of the donations go to the mission and 40% will be taken to salaries, fundraising, things like that. So that means 60 cents of every dollar that somebody donates goes to what they think is going to it. Wow. And now there's nonprofits that go less than that. They have bad years, things like that. I hate those numbers. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's you don't have a strong moral compass if your goal is to hit 60-40.
Yeah.
Like if we hit 60-40, I would be defecating. Like,
yeah,
that's not the way it should go. So when you have the nonprofit world and you see what the standards are, how do you rise above the standard, right? How do you break through that glass ceiling? I always use that terminology to everybody on our team and everything. Like, we have ceilings on our mindset. We have ceilings on everything. Blow through them. Blow through them. When you think of a gift for a kid, I don't know if we can get that. Blow through it, right? Yeah. I could touch on how we blew through several of them, but let me touch on this here. So when you do that in the nonprofit world, I'm not going to bash any nonprofits, but there's some big nonprofits that when you dive in and look at it, and it's like, there's not a lot going to the mission. And then they have huge corporate sponsors. And I'm like, what is going on,
Right.
And then, so like when I sit at our board of directors meeting and we start off at the beginning of the year and we figure out budgets and stuff. If 60-40 is the standard, Project Fire Buddy standard is 80-20.
Let's go.
Just from the go. Now, I also know that if I start off at 80-20, I'm a numbers guy. So if I start off at 80-20 and we keep growing, which we have a lot of growth to keep doing, that 80-20 is actually going to make even better to where at the end of the year, it's going to look like 88-12, 87-13, 89-11. And that's what it is, because there is a cost to doing business. There's no way around it.
It is what it is, right?
Like like the fire service or in the police service, like when you name anything that is fire related or PD related, whether it's a holster or whatever, right? They add an extra cost. Well, in the nonprofit world, we have to have HIPAA compliancy. So you throw the word HIPAA on any kind of computer program, and it goes from, it only costs this to, it costs this gigantic amount, and it's a monthly fee. The monthly fees are crazy. I call them the Netflix fees.
Yeah.
But you need them. You need to have it. You need to be able to document things, because that's how you fill out paperwork for grants, and you do all those different things, and it's important to have, but there's a cost to doing business. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
But we just tried to set a standard a little bit higher, right? And when we were early on trying to figure out what we were doing, I was looking at other nonprofits, and not that they were bad or they did anything bad, but there were certain things like, okay, I like what you do, but I don't like what you do at this point. So we're not going to incorporate that. I like what this is. This is a good idea. How do I make it better? Right. And so that's what we did. So there's a lot of charities out there that do great things, but they're a one and done charity.
Right.
Like they'll write a check one time, and those charities, 99.9% of them are amazing. They do great things, and that's their purpose and that's their mission. That's how they do it. And I'm not knocking them in any way.
Right.
But I didn't like that, because what I see in nonprofits that's lacking is the human touch, the human factor, the bonds that are built. And when you start seeing those bonds being built, that's when the true impact happens. I can bring over a PS5 to any kid any day, and it's going to be awesome. He's going to love it. But if I can bring over that PS5 and sit and play games with them and have quality time, well, now we just hit it out of the park.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's all day, every day. And so when I see this, and just to kind of reverberate on that, and where it's at is, I talked briefly about the one man, Noah, one fire buddy with us. So he was diagnosed with DIPG. And so DIPG is a rare brain cancer. Essentially, when a child's diagnosed with DIPG, and unfortunately we've had several fire buddies that have been diagnosed with it, you have a 0% chance to make it past a year.
Oh, God.
So this young man is 7, 8 years old, and he gets diagnosed with this. His parents' world is completely rocked. Beautiful family, but they're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Like from the get-go. Now, if I put myself into when my kids were young at that time, me and my wife, we're hustling. Like we're working extra overtime. We're picking up shifts. We're doing this. We're doing that just to make things work.
Put food on the table. Yeah.
Right. Now you're dealt with this, and something people don't know, childhood cancer creates bankruptcy across the board for every family. And a lot of times those families have one of them have to stop working because they have to, it's constant care, it's constant radiation, chemo in any of the cancer families. So it is a major hardship. Another kid we saw, we would go deliver gifts, and every time we walked in the house, we'd notice things missing from the walls. Like the TV that was there is no longer there. The tables that were there were no longer there because the family was selling them.
Yeah.
To stay on top of things. And when you see all that happening, it's like, okay, there's a need, you know. And when we saw the TV missing, and this little girl would watch TV, and now she had this little TV, you know, and we bring over a 65-inch TV. Then, hey, look what we got, you know.
Right.
But building on these moments like Noah, so in other kids that are terminal, it's all of the members. I tell them, what's going to make this kid, you know, what's going to do it? And we tell all the chapters, like when we're listening to them, when they're listening to the parents, you're going to become a better spouse because I want you to do less talking and more listening, and just listen to the families, listen to what the child likes, feel like what it is, and figure out how you can customize an experience, and then set your goals above the bar. So Noah, his situation, he always wanted to go to a Bulls game with his dad, you know?
Yeah.
Always wanted to go. He watched a Bulls game with his dad, and just surrounding yourself with good people, right? My wife's uncle was a CEO of Wrigley at one time. He just rubs elbows with different people, kind of like Rick Murphy, right?
Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah.
Shout out Rick Murphy.
Yeah, Rick Murphy's...
Dude. Salt of the earth.
Dude.
Salt of the earth.
Greatest guy. He's my greatest mentor ever. But her Uncle Duke, another great mentor of mine, he has some contacts with people, and he was able to reach out to Tony Kukoc and with the Bulls.
No way.
And we found out that Noah's favorite player was Zach LaVine. So we were able to get him not only to go to a Bulls game, but he went to a Bulls game and he got to sit courtside with his whole family. And then he got to warm up with Zach before the game. So this kid's out there living his best life, his dream, always wanted to go to a Bulls game. And now he's at a Bulls game. And now he's warming up with his favorite player. And his family got to hold on to that memory, you know, and they got to hold on to it for the rest of their life. Now, the other impactful thing is us just stopping over and me playing cards and playing a board game with Noah and his family, and him thinking it's cool because the firefighters want to play with him. You know, he thinks it's awesome. You know, and it was a cool thing. But I didn't realize the impact we were making until the day that Noah was his last day. And sorry.
No, you're good, brother. Take your time.
So it was his last day, and his family called for us to be there with him. And when you get that kind of honor to, because it's a massive honor to be there with that family and to support them, and then you realize I wasn't just a person that brought over toys. I wasn't just a person who hung out. And I didn't realize it, but we brought hope. And we brought comfort. And that's what it's all about, is right there. You know, so when we were able to do things like that, that's real impact. You know, I can sit here and tell you that we've given over $3 million from 2020 till now. And that's impressive. But how do you deliver hope? One of our chapters reached out to me and they said they have a young man who's got a terminal illness, and he was much like my son, big into travel baseball, going all over the place. This kid's 12. He's going to go to the MLB. He made his mind up. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. Now he has a terminal illness. And they requested for him to, or he wanted this $500 baseball bat. He never was able to get it, you know, but he wanted this bat. And God loved the chapter president. He called me and he's like, Kurt, he goes, I'm just going to speak real to you. He's like, I don't know if he's ever going to be able to use it. Are we wasting the $500? And I'm like, man, I love you to death for calling and asking this question, you know? And I'm like, okay, let me think about this here. I go, let's play this out. I go, how do you buy hope? And he's like, what? And I'm like, how do you buy hope? He's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, okay. He wanted to go to, in his mind, he's going to the MLB, right? But he's sick as a dog in his bed and can't move. And he's like, yeah. I go, when he looks in the corner of his room, he's going to see that $500 bat. And he's going to know every day when he wakes up that if he pushes a little bit harder and he holds on a little bit longer, he's going to be able to use that bat. I go, Nick, that's a $500 baseball bat that we're going to buy. Oh, and he goes, you're absolutely right, dude. He goes, this is awesome. And he's like, I love everything about this. And we did it. And we're able to provide that, you know. And how do you deliver hope, you know? Like, so when I hear these stories, I hear from these other chapters and these, you know, when I hear it from the crews that are telling me that, you know, especially when they first get a fire buddy, every time we get a new chapter and they get their first fire buddy, the response is the same. I'm like, hey, you guys got a fire buddy? Because when it comes in, it goes to our medical team. Our medical team evaluates, make sure they fit in the parameters. And then our mission manager will shoot me a call and let me know. Mission manager is my wife, in case you're wondering. So I figured, why not? She was the brains behind some of it. So
she's the genius. I love it.
So she will document every visit, you know, and just stays on top of things. But she has a team, you know, like our territory managers who work exclusively with certain departments, you know, like middle management. We have all of our executive staff. There's a lot of people that make it work, right?
Yeah.
It's not just me and my wife, right? There's a lot of moving parts here that are awesome things. So when I hear it, though, I'm like, hey, you got a fire buddy. And every time they're like, yeah. Oh, I shouldn't be happy about that. You know, and I'm like, listen, I go, be happy that we found him.
Right.
You know, or her, right? Whatever it is. We found the child, you know, and they're like, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I go, because that kid's unfortunately going to be sick, whether we're there or not.
Yeah.
But now we're able to do something a little bit better. So when I look in the nonprofit world, how do you create true impact? Yeah, true impact is helping somebody, you know, pay a bill, to do those types of things, buy a TV, buy living room furniture. You know, one of our chapters was like, hey, we went to go visit the kid, and they didn't have any furniture in their living room, and they sit on an inflatable chair. You know, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what are we getting for them? You know, and he's like, oh, well, we're going to get a Nintendo Switch, and we're going to get this, you know, and our chapters own it too. It's not just us finding it. Like, he's like, well, I'm going to reach out to this furniture store and this and that. And we pull up with a flatbed full of furniture.
I fucking love it.
You know, because the furniture store donated it.
Yeah.
You know, so when things like that happen, you know, and they're able to show up and deliver all this, and it's like, we're checking those boxes, right? Like what we're supposed to be doing as human beings, you know? And it's I'm biased. It's an amazing thing, you know, but it does take a lot of people to make this work. You know, I think we're probably at 1,000 team members, right? So many moving parts, so many things. And really there's a lot of people that don't get the credit they deserve, but I can promise you they don't do it for the credit.
No.
You know, and they're doing it because it's what they should be doing in life. And it's awesome, you know, but then not even just our team members, our online store. So we have swag, right? Like our shirts. So the one thing that I will take credit for is the marketing of our shirts is everybody goes to a fundraiser and buys a t-shirt because you're supposed to buy one.
Right.
I'll buy it. But when you put that t-shirt on, it's like putting on a cardboard box, and it's so uncomfortable. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's going in the garage. That's an oil rag.
Yep.
You know, and you never wear it again. So when I first came out with the shirts, we have a lead designer who's been with us from the very start, Bridget, she kills it with our designs. Like all of them. If you see our designs, we've got so many of them, you know, for 4th of July, Star Wars, like Christmas, like all of them, you know. And the one thing I said was, we have to find the most comfortable t-shirt out there.
Right.
That's it. Because not only we'll sacrifice what we're going to make on it, but we have a bunch of walking billboards out there.
Yep.
So when that happens, and it pays twofold. So now when you're sitting in a grocery store, you know, I hear it all the time. People are asked, oh, are you a firefighter? Well, no, I'm not a firefighter, but here's this charity. You should check it out. And this is what they do. I love the one story. I was in Jewel, and there was an elderly lady that I was wearing, obviously a Fire Buddy shirt, that's all I have. But I was walking through, and she was wearing one, you know, and I'm walking through, and she's like, hey, nice shirt. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm like, yeah, I got it at some fundraiser or something, you know, and she's like, oh, so you're not familiar with it? I'm like, I'm not. And she went out, you know, so that's like, she has no idea that I know anything about the organization, right? And she's like, it's the greatest organization. So what it is, it's firefighters that are helping sick kids, and this is what they do. And she was so proud. And I don't even know who this lady was, you know? And I'm like, all of these people are out there plugging it. Like, you're a team member. Like, you're part of the team, you know? And when we see that, you know, we've moved over 80,000 shirts. Like, it's insane, you know? And now we're at the point to where these expensive shirts are the same price as the cardboard box one, because we're moving so many of them. And it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff when you see it.
That's amazing.
I don't know how we got the shirts. We started it. I was in tears. Now we're talking about T-shirts. Like, we're all over the place.
Oh, brother, my chin was quivering over here.
Oh, yeah.
For a second.
We got to get tissue placed throughout this place. What is the most comfortable T-shirt?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
I can't tell you my secret. It's a Project Fire Buddies T-shirt. PFBswag.com.
I was going to say, where can they find? Where can we find these sweet ass T-shirts?
Yeah, you can go to our website or pfbswag.com. So, all right.
Oh, dude, you got me dying over here. You got me feeling like all different types of emotions. I'm crying. I'm laughing. I mean,
welcome to the inside of my head,
brother. I'm getting chills this whole interview.
Yeah,
I'm literally getting chills this whole interview because it's just amazing. I'm in awe. I really am, and I'm lost for words, and that never happens. Carrie always tells me I talk too much.
Well, definitely not. Definitely not. This is awesome. This is good. This is natural. I want to touch on Rick Murphy a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about Rick Murphy. One of my favorite people in this whole entire world, brother.
Yeah. So Rick, as you and I both know, is an absolute dragon slayer, shark, like all those things. But what most people don't know is Rick is the greatest guy. He's a lawyer. He sits on our board of directors. Rick is one of my closest friends. He's just an incredible human. But Rick has always been like a mentor to me, you know. And Rick has been one of those guys that has never judged me for being a blue collar guy, right? He's embraced it. You know, he's like, you're the typical Southsider, you know, like,
Right.
and what he's done for this organization, you know, that guy is the best run conduit in the world. Like, he knows a guy that knows a guy for everything. And he's helped us out so many times. And then what kind of built into it even more is the person that leads our medical team is his wife.
Really?
Yeah. So she's on our team, and she's a killer too.
Oh yeah.
She knows exactly what to do. Like just the way our medical team has now branched out into a team now, and she's built a team underneath her. Like, it's an incredible thing. And then a side note, his daughter is volunteering for us all summer long, and she's actually at our office now, putting in some elbow grease, and we got new offices, so we're doing a move, and it's been a little bit chaotic lately. So it's cool. But Rick is, he put us in touch with Brent Sopel. You know, Sopel put me in touch with all these other people. Sopel's another great human, you know, and but building on that, that's how we were able to make these connections. You know, I was able to get in contact with a movie producer who heard the story of what we were doing, and because of it, he gave me his contacts in Hollywood. And
That's awesome.
he's like, hey, here it is. This is what I got. You can only use it for the charity, you know. And I'm like, okay, that's
fair enough.
Fair
Absolutely,
enough, right?
Yeah.
But just so you know, my kids are terrible humans, and they have asked. So they were good at the beginning of this episode, but towards the end, they're terrible humans because they asked. No. I remember my daughter's like, I really like Shawn Mendes. Can we reach out? I go, no, you're not sick. Stop.
You're not sick.
Yeah. You're going to be sick if you ask that question again. No. But no, it was, it's a cool thing. We were able to, you know, get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Pratt. Like, Chris Pratt, just a good human.
Dude, I see him and what he does as a person, and you always, you know, famous people, right? Like, they seem like one type of person, but like behind the scenes, they're a different type of person.
Yeah.
I think Chris Pratt, I'm sure you could tell me and confirm it, that is genuinely a really good dude.
Good human that wants nothing in return.
I love it.
You know, all of these people are wearing Project Fire Buddy swag, by the way, because I ship it out to them.
Love it.
And they like it. Now, if any of them want to wear it on the red carpet, that's cool.
Please, shout out. Yeah.
Do that immediately, please, when the paparazzi following you around.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's what you need to be rocking. But anyways, Chris Pratt. So there was a kid that loved Guardians of the Galaxy.
Did we mention the quality of the shirts, though?
Oh, 100%. The
Great
best quality. Yeah. PFBswag.com. So with shameless plugs, it's like Spaceballs.
No, let him rip. Let him rip.
Yeah. But no, this kid was a huge Guardian of the Galaxy fan, you know, and he's Star-Lord, right? So he made a video for this young man, and he turned into Star-Lord for the video.
Really?
And talked to this kid one-on-one. And I'm like, and he goes, hey, by the way, this is just for me and him. Nobody needs to see this. I don't need to thank you. This is a special moment for me and him. And I'm like, oh, enough said, bro. Enough said. Like,
I fucking love it.
That's awesome. Like, that's huge stuff, you know? And then, you know, we talk about, so yeah, Chris Pratt, Gal Gadot, like Jack Black, like all of them have done things for us, and Anna Kendricks and Luke Bryan, like,
wow,
all have done amazing things for these kids. And so then I look at like David Eigenberg, who plays Herman on Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
So David is another salt of the earth type of person. So if you're a Chicago Fire fan and you everybody knows Herman from Chicago Fire, right? He's loved by all, but he was also in Sex and the City. I never watched it.
Yeah, thereby.
Yeah. I'm sure he was terrific, but that's not my show. So, but anyways, he's such a great dude. He came out to our very first gala, and I remember him calling me up on the way to the gala, and like I'm like, dude, we got Herman coming. You know, everybody's excited to see him. All the people, all the attendees. You know, and he calls me and he's like, Kurt, he goes, all right, I'm on my way. You need me to pick up ice or anything? And I'm like, dude.
This dude called you.
Yeah.
And
No,
asked-
he's such a good friend.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a good dude.
Yeah.
But he's like, can I pick up ice? Like I'm like, you're like the guest of honor. Like, just get over here.
Right.
I'm like, no. He goes, well, if you need me to work or you need me to, I can do that. And I'm like, no, dude. Like,
That's amazing.
you just come. So he's been at the last 3 galas we've had, and he's been able to make it out there. And for when you have like these celebrity people that are going above and beyond, we know how busy their schedule is. They,
Right,
they
man.
have families, they have all that. And you want to go above and beyond for them. And every one of them that are in our circle, they don't ask for a thing. They're not high maintenance. They want nothing, you know? And so he comes out, you know, and Matt Willig, who played Andre the Giant in the Young Rock series.
Yeah.
Matt Willig was also in We're the Millers. He was the cartel boss, the big monster. He was in Dexter. Matt Willig we got connected with because he started following us on social media. And he lives out in LA. This dude's a monster. He's like 9 feet tall.
Big guy.
Just a big dude. He was
Yeah.
2-time Super Bowl champ. Like,
That's amazing.
but he's always like the bad guy in the movies, right?
Right.
Like, you know, and I know he might be, I'm not supposed to know, might be in some new Star Wars movie that'll be coming out. So,
Ooh.
yeah. And he'll be wearing Project Fire Buddy Star Wars swag in case anybody's wondering. So,
Oh, let's go,
Yeah.
baby.
or no, we don't have Star Wars swag. We have Galaxy swag. Copyright. Okay. All right. So,
Just want to be clear.
yeah. Yeah. We might have sold it on a 4th of some month. And yeah. Anyways, it wasn't July. But anyways, he comes out to our gala every year. And he's another guy. He just, you know, go out to dinner with him the night before, you know, hey, thanks for coming. And I mean, this guy, he doesn't want anything. He just wants to be there, enjoys the crowd. He comes to the after party. He's hanging out with people. He's taking pictures with everyone. Just a great dude. And just another good human. Kenny Johnson, if you're familiar with him. So he was in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He's in SWAT. He was in Chicago Fire. He was in Smallville, all of the things. Another guy, he came out to our gala this time, and Kenny, I met at a Soulful outing, and just started rapping with him and talking and telling him about what we're doing, and he's like, I'm in. He goes, what do you need from me? I want more of this.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to do this to these people, but when these people make donations to Fire Buddies, like their donation is them being there, but then they go above and beyond and then donate to the mission. And that's amazing.
It is.
Like, so like when you, in case anybody understands or wants to know, when you need a celebrity to come to an event, they get paid a lot of money to do it. A lot of money. Our people don't require that. In fact, they come and they donate money, which is salt of the earth.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to say the celebrities' names, but when we were first trying to get celebrities, I remember reaching out to maybe this, I won't even say a B celebrity, we'll say a C celebrity.
Yeah.
And okay, you got to pay for my airfare, you got to pay for that. Okay, I get that. Like, fine, okay,
Right.
Okay. And then I'm going to need $25,000 cash because I can't get a $990 for it or $1099 or whatever for it. I need $25,000 cash, and I'm like, you're a C-level celebrity, you know? Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, but that's out there, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, for sure.
And then when you get to the higher ones, you're 6 figures.
Oh, easily. Just to make an appearance.
Oh, for sure.
For like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
And all of these that come, like Donald Gibb, which I'm going to date myself here, but Donald Gibb, who played Ogre in Revenge of the Nerds, it was always been a hero of mine. He was from a movie, Bloodsport. If you guys haven't seen Bloodsport, you got to watch Bloodsport.
I'll check it out.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bloodsport movie, great movie. I think it stood the test of time, but whatever. That's just my opinion. But yeah, 7-year-old Kurt watching it when he was, maybe I was 10, but
Maybe I was 10.
yeah, watching that movie over and over again, I always looked up to Donald Gibb, you know, and his name was Ray Jackson in the movie. And I went to a horror, I got to say it right, horror convention with my brother, and we were walking around, and he was there signing autographs, and I'm like, hey, let me tell you about this. And as soon as he heard about it, he gave me his number and he's like, let me know when you have something. I'll come on out.
Wow.
And so from that point on, we've built this friendship, and it's just been amazing. But then you get him coming out there and he's taking pictures, and it's incredible when these things happen. Are you guys fans of rock music?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like metal rock.
Yeah, I listen to everything.
Okay. So have you ever heard of Pop Evil?
Pop Evil.
Yeah, I have. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to be a framer, so there was a lot of metal and rock.
For sure.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Pop Evil, another good band. They're a good band, and they're less cool now because the bassist left. But the bassist from that band was Matt Dorito. Kelly and I actually went to see a show, and we went backstage and met them. And Matt had an organization called Star Treatments, and he was growing it into something that was cool. His way was sending kids to cancer treatment in a tour bus.
That's amazing.
Or a limo, whatever they chose.
Right. That's cool.
Because he's like, if I get to go on these big fancy things, these kids deserve it. So he started that foundation. And actually a lot of my ideas of Fire Buddies, some of them that came from his platform and how he did things and bouncing things off him. Unfortunately, Matt had a disagreement with the band. I don't know if it was a disagreement or he would just wanted to search and do something different. But he comes to our gala every year. He's got a whole flock of people that look for him. He's got real nice hair like myself. So actually his is a lot better, but he's got the rocker hair. But he ended up was at the point where he's going to close the charity. He just wasn't getting the attention he wanted to, you know, and he announced at our gala a couple of galas ago that he's like, I'm going to donate the rest of the funds to you, you know.
That's amazing.
So Matt sits at our highest donation to date, and he wrote us a check for $80,000.
Wow.
And because he believed in our mission, you know, and but that's, you get surrounded by these good people and these good things, and it just kind of continues on and moves to the next thing, you know, and it's awesome.
It really does speak volumes about these type of people, right? Where, I mean, even like Rick Murphy, when I was going through my work comp situation, and he wasn't handling my case, but I would call him or I'd text him, and he just called me, and he would take an hour, 2 hours. You're talking about a guy who's doing multiple things, and he's every which way. He's there for his kids. He's there for his wife. He's there for his firm. He's a busybody, and he takes 2 hours out of his day just to talk to me. And half of it's just bullshitting.
Yeah. But it's easy in your mind.
Oh my God. And it beyond.
Yeah.
Because to me, my world is ending.
100%.
And he knows that.
He does.
And from like then on, like he'll text me randomly. Like, hey man, how you doing? Like, or he'll send me like his logo, or like he needs my opinion on something. I'm like, you don't need my opinion. Like, you got this handled. Like, but
exactly.
I whatever I can do for you, I will do. And that you build that relationship with these people, and God, man, it just, everything you're talking about, it's like reigniting that fire in me of like, I need to get back. Because you lose that in your life, and because you get too caught up in things that are going on in your own life that you forget about the good stuff. And all those people are doing that. They're donating their time and their money, but it's also feeding their soul.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I when we see the pictures from our gala, and you see, you know, David and Ogre and Matt and all of them, both Matts, Kenny, they're sitting there with kids. You know, some of the kids are in like a walker or a wheelchair. You know, some of them are a little more sick than others, and in whatever stage treatment they're in. And these guys are just embracing it. They're on the dance floor with them. Like what a huge thing. Like, you know, especially a kid who likes watching Firefighters and is watching Chicago Fire, and now they get to go out there and share a dance with David Eigenberg, right? Who's Herman, right? Like, it's mind blowing, you know? I mean, it's a cool thing, you know? And what's also, I think, cool that's naturally happened is our gala that happens every year. We always do it in February by marketing, because nothing else happens in Chicago in February, because it's like, it's cold and it sucks out.
Oh, absolutely. It's miserable out.
And the holidays are over, so that stinks. So, but we have our last gala, we had 1,500 people. So we had 1,500 people. Tickets sold out in 3.5 minutes.
That's amazing.
3.5 minutes. And we had over 300 people on the wait list. Like it's been insane. We started the first gala at 1,000 people. That sold out. The next gala, we went up to 1,220 people. That sold out in 46 minutes. This one sold out in 3.5 minutes with 1,500 people. It was amazing. And the night, just, we bring our fire engine inside the gala. Like, it's pretty cool. Like,
that's badass.
I remember sitting with the convention center, and they're like, okay, well, what do you want? What do you want? I'm like, I want to bring our fire engine inside. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, it's got to happen. And they're like, okay, and they let us. I would have taken no eventually, but wow, they did it. So
right, you held firm. I love it.
Yeah, hopefully they don't listen to this. So
I don't think it reaches that broad, brother.
Yeah. You never know, man. You guys are killing it.
Oh, we appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. That just, it's amazing. It really is.
It's cool stuff.
It really is. And you have all these people doing this great things for you guys. It looks like you have to find a bigger venue.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying that. So I guess here's the thing: is there's a balance. So with the gala, there's a lot of math and numbers to go into it. So when you think of gala and the cost of doing a gala, like you see most galas, like this charity's gala is $750 a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
This one's $500 a ticket. This one's $600 a ticket. Some of them are $400 a ticket. Some of them are the price ours is, but they don't include alcohol, right? Like, people play a numbers game.
Yeah.
I want to be able to get the blue collar in, and I want the white collar in. We're going to have a nice enough venue to where blue and white are going to have a great time.
Right.
And we're all there for one purpose, and that's to support these children.
And that's the most important part.
And we take a hit on the tickets all the time, because if math of any kind of fundraising, every fundraising guy will tell me, and we'll sit down and say, you're doing it wrong. And because like when we look at the cost of everything, our gala ticket, we make about $20 a ticket. And last year was a $215 ticket, but that's just how much everything cost.
Yeah.
And we only made $20 per ticket, but I'm hoping that people buy raffles. I'm hoping sponsors sponsor.
Right.
I hope people buy silent auction, live auction. This year they did. It was awesome. It was a beautiful thing. But that's the whole point behind all of it. I
couldn't agree more.
So if I could jack up the price to $500 to where we make profit, but we're not going to sell $1,500, in my mind, it's not going to work.
Right. People
are like, you should go to McCormick Place. And I'm like, nobody wants to drive downtown.
Right.
No,
absolutely.
There's a lot of tangibles, right? But if you get more than $1,500, like, I know my night is taken up by shaking hands and seeing people
nonstop.
And it's a good thing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love every bit of it. I look over and I watch, I see Kelly's got a line of people. Brian's got a line of people. Kevin's got a line. Jeff's got a line. Like, all these top people within our organization have lines of people that are just looking to chat with them, take a picture with them, and they just want to be a part of it. And I'm like, that's awesome. If we have 3,000 people, that's not going to happen.
No, 100%.
So,
you still have that personal aspect to it.
For sure.
And that's what you want as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then the people who really want to see other people, like David Eigenberg or Matt Willig or those people.
Swarmed.
Those guys are swarmed, but they take it in stride. But if we have double the amount of people, all those people aren't going to be able to get in there. They're not going to be able to take a picture. And what kind of event did they just have? I can sit there and count the money that we made, but it's not about that. It's about customer service too. It's about the comfortable shirt, right?
The experience. Like, the comfortable shirt. It's all about the shirt, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pfbswag.com. So no, but yeah, it's not all about dollars and cents. That's the one thing that's taught me. I made the decision to come to Fire Buddies because it wasn't all about dollars and cents.
I think that's what sets you apart, brother. It really does.
We need money. It takes money to make money.
Right.
All these things, but there's times where you just can't be totally financially focused, and I guess when money becomes the focus, God leaves the room.
100%.
And so when that's the case, so we have to make smart decisions, but we can't make it solely on numbers.
No,
and
for sure.
It's really my decisions everybody that's in leadership with our organization, everything we always say is mission first. Mission first, no matter what it is. Makes you uncomfortable. It's going to give you a crappy day. If it's mission first, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And like I said, that's what sets you apart from every other foundation that's doing the same thing you guys are doing. You guys, you got to figure it out, man.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out. Now, where do you see Project Firebuddies going in the future?
Oh man, we're going to be in every state.
Oh, I believe it.
100%.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, well, actually, there's talks of us going international. So
You should.
So we've gotten a lot of push. Canada really wants us. Mexico has reached out. Germany's reached out. New Zealand's reached out. But going from national to international, when we broke out of Illinois, that was like the big stop, right?
Yeah.
That we're going national now because that changes the things.
Absolutely.
When we take it international, it changes the tax code. That changes everything, right? I want to make sure our roots are strong nationally. And then I have Ryan, who's our VP, is killing it, researching, talking to international lawyers with what it would look like for us to go over the border and what it's going to take and what kind of structuring, and him and Kevin are working on like this whole, because we structure our organization much like the fire service. We don't do chief and lieutenant, battalion. We don't do that, but we structure it very much like the chain of command and structure it the right way. It works.
It helps things flow.
Yeah, it
does.
works. So
It really
why not
does.
use it?
Right.
And so those guys really are good at structuring things really well. And they're smarter than I am. So that's good.
Surround yourself with smart people, brother.
That's it. So no, it's cool. It's utilizing people and their strengths.
Right.
They both know that when it comes to numbers, they're going to throw it at me. I'm the numbers guy, and coming up with ideas and things like that. These guys are very good. They're very regimented on structure and how we need to do X, Y, and Z. And I trust them. So that's, we'll see. If it's the right time, it's supposed to happen. When God wants it to happen, it'll happen. So we'll see how it goes.
Project Fire Buddies Global, baby.
Global, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, now, think back when you first started. Would you even imagine being where you are today?
No. So some of these conversations I have and had with different people and different things, was always kind of like a dream, right? Like,
Right.
What kind of world am I living in, right? Like it's weird. Like my daughter, Herman, David Heigenberg, was like, so I'm coming to your wedding, right? To my daughter, right? Like Herman's coming to my daughter's wedding. Like that's mind blowing, right?
Right.
So things like that, right? Like all those little things. Well, if his schedule works, right, with whatever he's filming. But it's things like I always envisioned it going. It was easy to say Kurt's negative point, the ego, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna blow through it. We're gonna do it. Cinder block wall. Take it on. The problem is I was using my head.
Same here, brother.
Yeah, right. But so you take it on and you do it and you're like, yeah, we're going to go everywhere, and then you start breaking it down and it's like, oh, wow, there's a lot that goes in this, and I need to educate myself and I need to learn how to do it and how do you do it? And then, okay, there's other smarter people that are very good at this realm. I need to
Reach out to them.
and hold on to them
Yeah.
and keep them part of it. So when those things started happening and you see the growth starting happening, it was like, wow, we can really make it in all 50 states, right? And now it's talk of international was never on my mind. Us being in all 50 states was always a dream, but I hope I see it before I die, right? Like, I hope it happens, you know? It should be. It should happen.
Yes.
I'm biased, but it does need to be in every firehouse.
Absolutely.
And here's the other thing, talking to the blue side here,
Let's hear
a
it.
lot of departments incorporate with their PD. So the PD comes out and they join. Like in my town, our PD joins. My town, I reached out to our public works too. And they have jumped on board. In fact, one of our swag coordinators who takes care of like the chapter swag for the departments is one of our public works guys.
Love it.
Just because he was all in early on. And he's like, I know I'm not in the fire service. I'm like, I don't care what that is. That's just because you made a decision. Like you decided to go this way, and it doesn't mean you're any less. Like
Oh man.
Like he had the heart, he had the value, so bring you on. That's good old Skippy.
We love you, Skip.
Yeah, right.
We love you, Skip.
Yeah.
Now, man, you talk about like the police side. That's how like with our fraternal order police, we had public works come out. We had guys that would donate their time. They would come out, and it makes it that much more special.
For sure.
It really does. Like all like these, fire departments, police department, public works, all coming together for a greater good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you see it. It becomes a family because there's always the family of first responders, right? But you see the family in now I'm going to go a whole nother aisle. More of the family is what I've watched is this started with my family, right? My kids were my first laborers. I hope the Department of Labor doesn't attack me.
Yeah, right.
So, but
they wanted to do it, by the way.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, they wanted to do it or be grounded. So no, no, they've embraced it. Actually, this last Father's Day, we're sitting on the couch, and my two youngest, my oldest is out of state. He lives out of state, but my two youngest, we're sitting there, and they break it down to me, and they're like, "How come we don't have a Project Fire Buddies email?" And I'm like, "What? Why would you need one? Like, what are you talking about?" And they're like, "We were from the start. Like, we want to be a part of it still." And I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you kids. I don't ask anybody to be a part of it. They just let me know if they want to be a part of it. That keeps it organic. I'm like, I didn't realize. I guess I felt I kind of forced you to go. You didn't force us.
Yeah.
We wanted this. We chose to do these things. My daughter's like, I was the first swag person. My whole basement was T-shirts. And my daughter's down there sorting, folding, doing it all, and she's like, yeah, like we want to be a part of it. My youngest is like, yeah, Dad, like, hey, I wear the stuff all the time. You're not forcing us. Like we still want to be a part of it. And so when I see that, and my wife, she's Fire Buddies everything. She talks to any person, random person. Oh, did you ever hear of Fire Buddies? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and it just sells, and it's good. And it's people feel the passion from other people. When people are passionate about things, you start to embrace it, and your ears open up a little bit more.
Because there's something in their voice. You can hear it.
Yeah. It's not the nonsensical,
right.
blabble, So blabble, is that a word?
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but then I look in our organization, and we're looking and we look in the office, and I look at it, and one of our administrative assistants, who's an absolute killer, Kim Clifton, her husband is a territory manager, and he's a chapter president, and he got her involved. She left her job to come be part of Fire Buddies. Like, and then Kevin, his wife, is like getting on board, and like you see families start building. And then Bridget, who's our designer, now her husband, who's a local 9 electrician, he is like our fleet manager, and I'm like, and I always talk about the team as a family, but it's literally a family, and their kids, their young kids are there, and they're helping. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. This is, and that's why it's going to be successful.
100%.
When we look at nonprofits across the board, and when you look at it, there's so many nonprofits. I don't know if you guys ever dabbled in the nonprofit world. Like, you can think of like the top ones in your head, and I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you going to their websites. But you look at the top ones, and you look at it, and there's millions of nonprofits. Like, there's nonprofit for why the white spotted owl shits in the woods. Like, they have a nonprofit for that, in case you're wondering. And they're funded by the government too. Like,
of course.
Yeah. Like, how do I get that?
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. Why is Kurt DeGroot shit in the woods? No, sorry.
I donate to that.
Yeah. See. And there goes the firehouse humor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
get way worse than that.
Yeah, I know. I was keeping it tone. But when you look at it. And so when we started breaking down the numbers and looking at all the nonprofits, because there's so many of them, and then when we looked at it even deeper, Project Fire Buddies sits in the top 4% of nonprofits nationwide.
Wow.
Like, when I saw that, I'm like, that gave me chills. I'm like, holy crap. Like, because in my mind, it's still the mom and pop shop. Right. But we are not.
You're not, brother.
And it's amazing when you see that. And then when you look even deeper, and it's the largest firefighter run charity that helps critically ill children in the world.
That's amazing.
Like, it's checking that box, and it's like, and it's not because of me. It's because of all these other people,
Yeah.
and everybody, starting from my family to their family, and everybody just loves it. And they don't love Kurt DeGroot. Nobody gives a shit about me. They care about those kids, and they see it, and they're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes
For those kids.
And they have the same mentality. And going back to surrounding yourself with good people. When you sit there and you have those good people around, you will continually do whatever you can to make it happen,
Oh, brother, I couldn't agree more. And I'm telling you, you're going to be humble about it, and you're not going to agree with me, but this foundation wouldn't have been what it is without you, because I can see the passion in you. I can hear the passion in your voice. You truly care about this. Your whole heart, your whole soul. I mean, your whole family embraced it. Not just your family, but everyone else that's a part of this organization has embraced that type of mentality. And that's why you guys are as big as you are. This is just the beginning for you. You guys are going to be way bigger than that. You said you're the first for in the fire service or fire non-for-profit across the country.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to be across the board number
Yeah.
one for kids.
I hope so.
I know so.
From your lips to God's ears,
Brother,
man.
it's already done. It's that's how, from what you've been doing, that's how you thought about it. Like, you're running through the wall head first, nonstop. That's your mentality, and that's the mentality you need. God knows what He wants for you, right?
Yeah.
You asked, He gave,
Yeah.
right? So when you start questioning it, you don't question, you just do. It's going to fall into place, because look at it, everything you've done to this point. You never questioned it. You just you relied on other people. This guy knows X, Y, and Z. He's going to handle it. This person can handle this. This person can handle this. You have a well-oiled machine. It's you're just at the tip. It's
my wife always says God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called. She says it all the time, and I'm like, whenever I'm like, I can't figure it out, and she's like, it'll happen,
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's not if. It's just when.
Yeah.
And you might not be ready, right? You need to do this, you need to do that before you can get it, but it will happen.
Yeah.
God, amazing.
I'm actually excited because we just got our new office too,
Oh yeah.
and that's leveling us up to the next level right now. So we.
I don't think you're gonna be at that new office for very long.
Oh,
You might
dude.
need a bigger one, brother.
Oh, dude, I don't know. No, we overshot on this one.
You
We
did
got.
not.
So as of right now, Fire Buddies has our e-commerce store, pfbswag.com. And we have our e-commerce store that does very well. But we have that. We have Chapter Swag. We have our office. We have all this. We have 4 different spots right now.
Yeah.
And when I see the rent money go out every month, it kills you. It kills you when you watch it. And you see it, and it's such a waste. That money is a waste. But it's the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
We were able to finally attain and purchase our first building, and we're going to bring everything in one location under one roof, which is amazing. And the day we walked in, we're $500,000 in equity, because it was just the right thing, the right negotiation, and the right time. So
Look at that. It's fell into place, brother.
yeah, so it's good. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it.
Big things happen. We're going to take a break. All right, so we're back from break, brother. So before we let you go, please tell everyone where they can find you.
Well, obviously, it's pfbswag.com. No.
That's the most important part?
That's the most important. No, projectfirebuddies.org. Mission First. That's where you're going to see all of our updates. We just got a newer website a couple months ago. It really turned out real nice. You can check that out. Also on social media. We have Instagram, Facebook. It's Project Fire Buddies, obviously. Twitter, X, whatever it's called now.
Right.
That thing. But yeah, check us out. Follow us. You get to see all of our latest stuff you'll see always on our social medias. We got different fundraisers, different outings, and things like that.
So if anyone wants to donate or volunteer their time, same location?
ProjectFirebuddies.org. You got the big, beautiful donate button there in the corner. But then if your chapter, your department wants to find out more details on how to become one, you could do that. If you know a child that's sick, that's battling a critical illness, and you want them, the only asterisk I'll put on it is the guardian or the parent has to fill out the form.
Okay.
But that will trigger a response from our medical team. But you could find that on our website. And then also volunteer if you want to volunteer. That's how we get our new volunteer members.
Perfect. So when Walmart hears this,
That's right.
How do they get a hold of you?
Oh, well, so my number is 708. No, right.
Brother, man, it was truly an honor to have you on.
It was an honor to be here, man. This is awesome. This
dude.
is a nice setup you guys got.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I'm really digging the neon.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys should sell these.
No, yeah, you can find it on beyondthedispatch.com.
Yes, see, I like it.
Well, brother, man, we can't thank you enough. It really was an honor. Carrie, you have anything?
Hey, I'm gonna say, like, dude, what you're doing is phenomenal work, and I've heard about this. I don't know. It's pretty much since I got into the fire service. Didn't really know a ton about it, and like, unfortunately, it came to my department after I went off, but. Dude, hearing your story, hearing where you've brought this thing, how you did it is just like, dude, it hit me. It hit me.
And then meeting you too, honestly.
Yeah, just phenomenal guy all around, right? And the only thing I want to say, one last thing, is if anybody out there is listening and they're a fireman somewhere and you want to do something more for your community and you hear this message, please reach out to Project Fire Buddies. Like, this is the best thing you can do for your community and those sick kids that we all know we go to all the time. You know, Kurt here had the foresight to actually do something amazing for these kids. So reach out to them and get involved and do it for your community as well. Because, God, I can't think of anything better.
I love it.
Honestly.
Thank you.
I love it, brother. And
Thank you guys.
and here on Beyond the Dispatch, I know we're nobodies, but we're definitely going to start spreading the word of Project Fire Brothers because it's just such a great cause. It really is.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Dispatch. Thank you to Kurt. You're just, dude, I can't. I'm still, like, I'm a fucking fanboy of Project Fire Buddies now.
It's my haircut.
Yeah, that's what. Please like, subscribe, share, leave in the comments what you guys liked. We'll catch you in the next one.